Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Always got to start. Wait, you know what? I need to sort
Uh,
out my background. I need to
okay.
sort
You
all
look
of this
something.
so it
Yeah.
don't look
A
like
little
I'm
bit.
just in a cell somewhere. Like, don't worry, I'm
Hey.
free. I'm free. I'm a free
All
man.
right. Let me know,
Call me
bro. I can
Zeus
send some
Freeman.
grapes. Jeez.
I might have to change it from Guyver to Freeman. Zeus, aka
Freeman.
Freeman. You hear me? Zeus Freeman. I'm free. I am free. You know what I'm
Yo.
saying?
No,
Crazy.
that's crazy. That's
But yeah, I just
crazy.
need
That's
to.
crazy.
I was just thinking that man need to get a little poster or something, a shelf or
Yeah, little
something.
something. You know,
You know what I'm
I
saying?
got the. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I see you
I
got
got
something
that.
going
Yeah.
on. I see. I see.
Something light. Like the
I
collection
s-
is way bigger than that. It's just that's just a little light.
a
You know what
little
I
light
mean?
set. Little light
Little
set.
light. You got T'Challa there. You got Killmonger there. You got the Hulkbuster. You got Thor. You got Miles
Okay.
Morales. You got the Donna Dons with the gauntlet ready to rock and roll. You know how it goes.
I
Something
see you,
like
player.
something like.
I see
Yeah,
you,
man.
player. I see you, man. People, I go by the name of Zeus, aka
Freeman.
Guyver.
Oh, sorry. I thought you started with a Freeman now.
Well, you know, Brandon. Go stick
Okay,
to
all
the
right.
brand.
Say no more.
You know,
Apologies. All
go
right,
stick to the
sorry. Run
brand.
it back. All right, run it back. I
It was
interrupted you. Sorry.
it was fun while it lasted. It was fun while it lasted. You hear me? But you hear me? Gotta stick with what they know. You know, people. I go by the name of Zeus, aka Guyver.
And it's your boy Drizzy Freckles here, aka the Golden Child Man, and it's just that time of the week, baby. It's
It's
that
a
time of the week.
beautiful day.
Bow, bow,
I'm not gonna lie. I
bow.
felt like John Legend. I sound like John Legend sometimes in
I
my mind.
respect it.
In,
I sound like Luther sometimes, man. Like Luther Vandross. You know what I mean? But
lie ya tell.
boy,
Um,
that makes the two of us. But anyway, yeah, go on.
we go by the name of the Screen Runners. People, make sure you like, comment, subscribe. Do it, man. Do it. Build up the community. You know how it goes, man. As we get into news, The Rock, Dwayne The Rock
Hey,
Johnson, he
yeah.
is lined up to do a new Martin Scorsese film alongside DiCaprio and Emily Blunt. Now, this is being described as a Goodfellas meets Departed.
Okay, we'll take that. We'll take that. That's a good career move.
He's playing. Let me see. He's playing a. It says it follows an aspiring mob boss who fights rival crime factions for the control of the underworld of the Hawaiian Islands.
Bruv, when is Marty Scorsese, because that's what we call him in the group chat, when is he gonna make a rom-com, bruv? Like, why is everything, bruv, when you gonna make a rom-com, man, to show people you got range? What are we doing, bro? Or a comedy, or horror, or something? What we
At,
doing?
at this age, does he need to show range? Does he care to show range? Does he? I mean, just do
I
what you
think
know,
this
innit?
is why, I think this is why there's an argument, or maybe there isn't, that Steven Spielberg might be the greatest of all time. I'm just saying, because he's ticked practically every box there is in regards to making movies.
Let me make a quick little comparison. How do you feel in terms of like rappers and music? I mean, producers that kind of have a similar sound. So let me take who I may believe is a favorite rapper of yours and some of the accusations he gets. Pusha T.
Uh huh.
Pusha T gets told that all man speak about is coke. Yes, he does it in the most glorious and creative ways you will ever hear coke spoken about. Him and Stove God. Shout out to
Yeah,
Stove God.
of
Um,
course.
but he's still one of your
Yeah, but
faves, right?
I think
Still
with
one of
Pusha,
your...
I've heard Pusha do songs with Justin Timberlake. I've heard Pusha do songs with
You're right. You're right.
Nivea,
You're
like
right.
Khalees.
You're
I've
right.
heard
You're
the
right.
range. So
You're
when
right.
it's like when he's in the bag, I'm just like, brother, give me that luxurious
So you
cocaine
just
raps.
so what you're saying is you just need a one, little one spin off, a
I'll
little
take on
one
one.
rom
I'll
com,
take on one.
a little one
I'll take on
drama,
one.
a little funny something, just one, just to show that you can do something else. That's what you're asking for.
My last point on this. He's so anti the superhero comic book genre. What if he one day just announced, all right, you know what, yeah? Just so I can see one done how I'd want it to be done, I'm gonna do a comic book movie. That would burn the internet to the ground. Like,
It
hold
would.
on,
It
you're
would. It
anti.
would.
Do you know what I mean? But that's my take. But Marty, do you player?
Yeah,
You're a
man.
legend in the game. You know what I
I'm
mean?
sure it's still gonna be something we're all gonna watch and enjoy. Because when
It's probably gonna be 5 hours long, and yeah,
he does it well. He does it well.
yeah, yeah,
Maya Hawke
yeah.
says some directors in Hollywood are basing their casting on how much on your Instagram following counts. So basically, how much followers you have. Directors are now basing who they cast in their films on that.
Instagram sucks. Right, but just so you know, if you have over this many followers, you can get the movie funded. Well, I want to make the movie. So I've talked to so many smart directors who tell me that they get I'm talking to them about how I'm going to delete my Instagram, and they're like, just so you know, when I'm casting a movie with some producers, they hand me a sheet with the amount of collective followers I have to get of the cast that I cast. So if you delete your Instagram and I lose those followers, understand that these are the kinds of people that I need to cast around you. So and so it's confusing.
That's what she's saying. She's saying it's a weird space to be in. She's not really on Instagram like that. I mean, how do we feel? I'll tell you what.
Thankfully, go on.
Yeah, before you jump in, I'll tell you what. Why this kind of caught my attention is one of the reasons is because I remember Kevin Hart mentioning something about him not promoting a movie that he was in on his Instagram, and them kind of being angry that he weren't promoting the movie, and he was basically trying to say that you never paid for my Instagram following, you never paid for that bit, sort of thing. You get me? That kind of comes separately. That's either you pay for that or I'm just doing that off my own back. That isn't something that I have to do. And I remember when that got said, I started to think, okay, yeah, social media is going to start playing a part in how films are promoted, how they come out, etc., etc. So when I heard this, I can't say I was surprised. Like, it weren't something where I was like, oh, that's a bit mad. I was like, I can understand it. Like, the world we're in today, like, it may not be where we want to go, but that's where we're at. I would also say as well that that kind of locks off finding talent outside of the realm. You know what I'm saying? Like, there's people that's gonna be their world, and that's how they come up. And I don't think they should, like, that's gonna be one of their superpowers. So I don't think that should be cut off just because it's not really the norm in the space of Hollywood. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, it's a double-edged sword, isn't it? Because on the one hand, people like Maya Hawke, who thankfully, even though she's the daughter of Ethan Hawke, who's been, who's Hollywood royalty, she can act. She's shown in Stranger Things she can act. I saw her in something else, and I was like, oh wow, you're pretty good at. Oh, she also voiced anxiety in Inside Out too. It's a slap in the face for the people that go through the usual channels. They either go through drama school, or they do they're on stages in like the West End or in Manhattan, Times Square, New York Boulevard, whatever, or Broadway. I mean, so. But at the same time, if you're using it as a tool to identify new talent, so it's like you and I are budding actors who just so happen to review stuff, but a lot of our content isn't long enough to say it warrants being on those platforms that you find next up and coming actors. But you can see from the content, these guys are taking this serious, they're showing range, yada yada yada. And if you've got a couple of followers, because we do a lot of like fan, like the fan casting or like the fan fair movies and that, where it's like, what if Batman was a black kid that grew up and found money, but the story's kind of the same.
Yeah.
Then I'm not against it. And to get the Kevin Hart point, I do feel like that has to be part of the conversation, especially if you're a comedian who's been brought into the acting world. That's your cachet.
Yeah.
That wasn't because of your movie star. So if you want to tap into that, and I'm only going to promote the good stuff. If I see I'm in a film and I see the final cut and I'm like, Broadlands, and I'm like, boy, you know what? I don't want that on my timeline. I ain't gonna promote it. Like,
It's
hey,
obviously gonna be a thing where it's a must though. Like if you're in this
right.
film, that's part of the contract that you promote the film for X amount of days.
I'll
And
say something.
I want to see X amount of posts.
Yeah, for sure.
That's
But
definitely the thing.
I need an extra 500k to 750k for me to be on my Instagram. Like, because some days I might not want to post, and it's like, oh yeah, I've got to promote this film that I'm in because it pays the bills. But obviously, if I'm paid to do it, I'll have a bit more enthusiasm to do it right, as opposed to scheduling a poster, catch in the cinemas, Valentine's Day or whatever. You know what I mean? So
I heard you.
Hopefully,
I heard you.
You know what I mean?
I heard you. Nah, you bros. It's reals. Yeah, let's get into the review. Review time. Review time. We spoke about it before. Your friendly neighborhood Spider-Man. He's that guy. He's from Queens. What did we do? We reviewed episode 1 and 2. And we took a little hiatus.
They dropped. That they gave us a free ep drop. Then they gave us another free ep drop. And then so I brought us up to 8. And then they gave us the final 2. They gave us a season finale because there will be a series 2. They gave us a 2-part finale, and So Zeus, because I want to throw it to you because keeping it spoiler free. What's your thoughts, and then what's your thoughts overall in regards to the series?
So my thoughts on the last 2 episodes. So starting with episode 9, I thought was one of the best episodes of the whole show. I really enjoyed that episode. I've really been enjoying the show. Like, it's a really good watch. As we spoke before, the animation does get a bit annoying, but it's not the worst at all. But I am enjoying the story. I do like the storyline. I do like what they're allowing the characters to do, how they're displaying the characters. I do like the relationships. And I feel like in episode 9, a lot of those things kind of started to open up, come to fruition, and just, I mean, we got the proper, like we're here now, red and blue, just like Cap.
Hello.
So I feel episode 9, I mean, we had a team up, we had like a real good fight. I enjoyed the fight. I remember I was bitching about the fight scenes in previous episodes 1 and 2, but I feel like as the show went along, like I did enjoy a lot more of the fight scenes, and yeah, man, I thought episode 9 was one of the best episodes of the show, if I'm honest.
Okay, that was so the original plan was they wanted to make it a prequel to Tom Holland, right? So this was a prequel to Homecoming. And then they decided creatively that would box them in too much. Whereas if they do something different, they can move around things and change things or enhance things. And I think the latter option was the best way to go forward because we met a lot of characters where it's like, well, yeah, these men are running together in New York City, so they should essentially bump into each other at some point.
Oh, yes, I enjoyed that.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And there's a certain interaction that happens, and you're like, hey, listen, if we can make that happen on the big screen,
yo,
you're eating good.
It did get me excited for what's to come. I'm not gonna lie. It did get me excited. I like what they did there. That was a good promo. That was good promo, man. Yeah, they knew what they were doing. They know the timeline. They know what's coming. Like, so that I like what they did there. I like it a lot. I like it a lot.
We like it a lot.
I like it a lot.
So that was cool. There was definitely some dark turns in this where you're like, whoa. Wait a minute.
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie. Petey got a whooping, boy. Got a whooping. Oh, I was like, no, Spider-Man, no.
Bro.
Like, there was some arse whoopings handed out.
And Pete was going through the same things we've all gone through as teenagers, where it's like boy meets girl, boy likes girl might not necessarily like boy, but boy doesn't want to not have any interactions with her, so boy keeps her as friend and she keeps him as friend. And you got the female friend that's like, yo, I know what's going on there, why don't you act on it? And Listen, man,
Yeah, you can imagine this is a live action as you're explaining all of that.
Yeah,
Like this could
for
easily
sure.
the way the storylines panned out. It does feel a bit bait in some parts, but it's cool
Yeah.
because it's for this, so
Yes,
it kind of
yes.
works. It has a little something different to it, so it feels a bit new. The storyline is a bit template, but it feels new in this.
It's
And I
super
do like the way they
fresh.
do it.
Like we
Yeah.
never, you know, this ain't a spoiler, but like we never got. There's a certain moment where there's a little montage of different things happening,
Yeah,
and we're being told like, oh, well, in the focus group, they said that this is kind of something that they would really appreciate, and then you get this awkward moment where he saves something from a tree, and then the people are looking at him crazy, like. We don't get that in the film because the
Yeah.
film is trying to tell a certain story. They don't have time to tell all that, but it was cool to be like, oh, this guy's finding his feet, and we're looking at it through his eyes, where he's got someone helping him, creating all these things, and he's just, you know, some of those joints were horrible. Some of them were horrendous.
terrible,
They were
terrible.
horrendous, but for our
Absolutely.
amusement, they were horrendous.
Absolutely terrible. As we're talking about that, what did you think of Osborn? Like, if I just get into it, like, he would be a winner for me in terms of the show. I think he's like, I think Coleman Domingo, like, he's killing that. He's killing that voice. Like, I hear he does want to play him, and I think this is a nice little layup because I think like his demeanor, his whole charisma, like it suits this character. Like it does suit it. It's reminding me a bit of Sterling Brown and Invincible at the moment. Just in terms of like the characters are standing out, but we'll get into that another time. But I do like Coleman Domingo as Osborn in this, and Osborn is a standout character in this for obvious reasons. But I am enjoying his whole role in this.
Yeah, it was nice. You know, he's basically being the Tony Stark to Peter that Tony Stark was in the Spider-Man.
Yeah.
But we learn more about him, and again, we don't learn this much about him in the Spider-Man movies because they're trying to get through a lot of stuff. But learning about him, and then there's certain twists and turns. And while I do think he's got someone's best interest at heart, there's certain things that happen with his op, and when him and his op have an exchange, you're like, oh, this guy is a deadly guy.
Yeah.
This guy's petty. This guy is petty.
Yeah.
He's
one
rich
of them ones.
and he's petty.
Yeah. Them Drake niggas. Yeah. Them man there. Man moving like Drake out here, bro. Petty.
I was like, yo, you went through all that to... Yo, but then the bigger picture is it makes sense, but it's the way he went around getting to this to get to that. I was like, this guy is rich and petty.
Yeah.
All right, sir.
Now, you know what? He's probably moving more like Cam. I'm not going to lie.
Yeah. More like Cam. You're right.
That type of petty.
Yeah, and certain things like his secret being like his secret identity being shared with certain people and how that all plays out.
How did you feel about that? I ain't really like that.
Really? Okay.
Yeah, I don't know. I didn't totally dislike it, but I didn't like it. You know what it is? I just don't like my characters being revealed, man. I just don't like my heroes being revealed. I don't like when too many people know. When people start knowing, like I don't like that.
Yeah.
But
I think it's because of the age range we're dealing with, and like this certain person was trying to keep the conversation going, and that particular scenario, it was like, why is it taking so long? Oh, it's probably doing the thing. What thing? You know the thing. You know everything about him, right? Oh, yeah, I know the thing. But just to make sure we're in the same wavelength, what are you talking about exactly?
Yeah.
Like, it was kind of like...
Well, I wasn't even talking about that. I was talking about, like, how it came out before, really. That's what I was talking about. I wasn't really feeling...
but that was him. That was him being careless. He was
I know,
careless.
but like how...
moment.
Yeah,
I hate
don't be careless in that. You hear me? Get you shot. You shot in the face. It's like quickly when someone bumps the door into him, like he's walking and he's normal, and the door bumps and he drops. And I was like, where's the spidey senses, cuz?
Don't get shot in
your face, Spider-Man.
I was like, where's this? Like, bro, are you not? And then as the show starts to go along, you start to see it comes more evident that it's starting to kick in. And there
Yeah.
was a moment in episode 9 where he was throwing hands and he was just like, I'm not holding back anymore. And Donnie was just like, shh, shh, shh.
Yeah.
I don't know if that's reflexes or the spider senses, but that shit looked fire. He was just walking, it's like, bam! And he was just dodging stuff without missing a step. I was like, all right, here we go. That's my Peter Parker right there, ladies and gentlemen. He has arrived. He has arrived.
Did he stick the? Did this stick the landing for you? Did
You
it
know
end
what?
off?
Yeah. For something that I was interested in watching, because I feel like you can never have too much Spider-Man. And I was like, let me see if they're just gonna give us a copy and paste job, but just in animation. And I mean this in the best way possible. The liberties they took in this show, and the way Peter was portrayed, for me, this is Peter Parker in a nutshell. Like, if you've never seen a Spider-Man anything before and you watch this show, this is how Peter Parker is. Like, this is him in a nutshell. This definitely stuck the landing for me. And it's crazy because I'm in between, like, do I like this animation more than the animation in Invincible? Because the animation in Invincible sometimes looks a little bit like,
Nah, I don't.
it's a little bit like,
I don't.
But
like the
fact
animation
that
in here is a little bit, a little bit, a little bit. Suit you, sir.
But we do get some detail on certain man. You're like, yo, Osborn waves are waving though. But it's just mad that we was getting Spider-Man on one day and then we're getting Invincible releasing on another day. And I was just like, yo, this is dope. Like,
So
what we doing?
I'm
So
gonna
yeah.
take that. I'm gonna take that as a yeah. They did.
Yeah, 100%. Stuck the landing. We need season 2 next year. Like, this should be the new thing.
I heard there's a minimum of 3.
I'll take it. But
there's
we
a
need them
minimum
like
of
to
3.
start the year. You know, we need to start. You know, get through that lower January. They need to. January needs to be their
Well,
release date.
hopefully they got this in the chamber. Hopefully they pace well. To go alongside with what you said, I really enjoyed this. I think they've done a good job. I'll definitely be here for season 2. I don't think, as well as it was the usual story, like you said, I think they took certain liberties which allowed it, in a good way, to just explore different storylines, bring out other characters, just show a different pace that you normally get with Spider-Man. So it almost felt a little bit more behind the scenes of Spider-Man. So it was like, just in case you didn't know how certain things kind of transpired, or just in case you're not about the comic book life and you don't know how we got to this point here, this was a little, there you go, now you know.
All right, let me ask you a quick question. This is a total curveball, but while you're speaking, it just sparked a question in my head. Would you, because we had X-Men 97, that animation was its own thing, and I don't think I stand by that animation would not work for this show. I stand by that. We got this animation for this show. Would you, it's a 2-part question, would you take a Miles Morales-esque prequel to Into the Spider-Verse, but it would be a different animation closer to maybe what we get on the movies? So would you want a Miles Morales prequel show, and before he gets bit, like, so we expand on that more, and would you want it to be a different animation?
I like the animation on Miles Morales. I like the animation, so I'd probably want to keep it the same. And just even after this conversation, keeping it the same, yes, because I like the animation. I don't mind the change because of previous conversations that we've had, and them being their own little things kind of does add to that. So you've got this over there, that over there, this over there, that, and they all kind of look completely different. So it's not like the same thing. It's not like Scorsese doing the same thing. You hear me? It's kind of different. Shows a bit of range, you know? Like, our artists can draw in different styles. So I'm kind of here for doing it in different style. To answer your question about the backstory, yeah, I would. Because I do like backstories, especially when done well. Shout out to Transformers 1. I do just want to see if we're going to keep getting these characters, if we're going to keep getting Spider-Mans and Supermans and Batmans, stop giving the template, innit? Let's see something a little different with these characters. Let's create a new little story as to, even if you got to change it up a little bit, like how they've done in your friendly neighborhood Spider-Man. Yeah, I'm here for that. If there's going to be a switch up in stories and they're going to try a little something new, as opposed to just doing the same thing when he is who he is.
This was a self-contained character study of what if did a what if based on one character for 10 episodes. This is what I think that's the best way I can explain it to someone. It's like what if they did a series based on one character and they just tweaked a couple things. That's the best way I can explain it. But an anime style Mars Morales show, I wouldn't be opposed to that. You know what I'm saying? A little anime. You know what I'm saying? Got to wear the Jordans and that, but yeah, man. So what we're saying? Screens. What we doing?
Screens. How many
season one of season one of Friendly Neighborhood Spider-Man. How many screens are we giving this? Out of 10.
I'm going to give this a strong 7, and it just missed out on the 8, but it's a strong 7, strong 7 screens out of 10.
All right, I'm gonna keep it consistent. I want to give it an 8. I'm gonna give it. I just feel like we're gonna have to be very precious with our screens this year because of the amount of content that's coming out.
Yes.
That's why I'm gonna match your 7. I want to give it an 8. If this was the only thing coming out from Marvel on animation wise, I'd be like, this is an 8, maybe even a 9, maybe. Just off the intro alone. It would have needed to do a little bit more.
It needs to do a little bit more to get that. Right. And it can do. It can do. If you get a minimum of 3 seasons and it continues on this sort of vibe and this pacing, by season 3, it's an easy 9. It's easy.
It's an easy 9. Yeah, cool.
But right now, there ain't enough in it. Sometimes the dialogue can be a bit... I think a real strong 7, like a 7 plus,
like it's closer to it. It's closer to an 8 than it is to a 6. Yeah,
like it looked like an 8, but it ain't 8. Like it looked like a Maybach. It looked like a Maybach, but it ain't a Maybach. Yeah, man. So that's our verdict on your Friendly Neighborhood Spider-Man episode 1 to 10. Let us know if you agree or disagree. I am hearing mixed reviews, but mainly good ones, if I'm honest. I think mainly most people on the same vibe with this one.
You know what? Yeah, the ones that are giving it mixed reviews, they probably watched 1 and 2 and went, and they dropped off, right? I would say to you guys who are like, I'm thinking of it. Now that all episodes are out, if you watch these 10 episodes back to back,
that's what I was gonna say.
Hit different.
That's what I was gonna say. Binge it, because I watched about 5-6 of them in a row and it hit different. So that's it, man. That's a wrap for this show. Like we said, let us know if you've been watching this and what you think of it. But we'll be back here again, same time, same place, doing what we do, making sure to keep you up to date with what's going on behind and in front of the screens. People, we go by the name of the Screen Runners. You already know what time it is, man. Drizzy, you got anything else you'd like to say to the people?
We're up for suggestions. If there's something that you're like, this should be on these guys' radar, or there's something coming up soon that I may not have covered in the upcoming month rundown and that, hit us up in the comment section, whether it's here, whether it's on the Instagram. Hit us up. Don't be scared to slide in the DMs. It's totally fine. It's a safe space. Yeah, man. Anyway, look after yourself and each other, people. That's my guy, Zush, the a.k.a. Guyver, a.k.a. the Don Dada, a.k.a. one of the greatest minds running road right now. You lot just don't know it, but you're getting exposed to it, so you're welcome.
Come on, man.
Yeah. It's cool, bro. It's cool. I know he's going to try and give me flowers. It's all right. It's cool. I wanted to give you your flowers. It's not about me, it's about you, sir. I'm Jesse Fregos, aka the Golden Child, and look after yourself and each other. You know the vibes, Rezzy. We are the Screen Runners. Peace.
You already know.
Yes, brother.
Can't do the Soon I can.
Soon.